this. We'll build a water plant and we'll fucking oh shit, we're live. Okay, right, sorry. Rant over. Rant over.
That's a great way to start up the show. Fucking water. It's like, shite, life.
It's not that fucking easy to shut me up, Danny.
Well, you see, that's the only way to shut him up. You didn't hear me say I was going to press the go live button.
Yeah, but then to be honest with you, Matthew, you can always bring up the other event, which you won't mention live now. But let's just say his missus never forgot.
Yeah, we don't speak about that in public, Danny.
I know, but I never mentioned what it was.
Thank you, Matt. Danny?
He never forgot. And now, lads, I suppose we will start the show tonight anyway by welcoming everyone to Mauls, Balls and All the Breakdown, live on Facebook and YouTube. Of course, we always welcome new subscribers and onto our Spotify channel as well. Always appreciate that. Tonight, I've got Matt Boland and our usual Bishop Len, as some of you might know as Scarrow, two-tone in the group. Lads, I will ask you, I'll come to you, I suppose, first, Matt. France 18, Ireland 13. Ireland 13-0 up at half-time. What do you make of that match?
Oh, Jesus. Like, talk about heartbreaking. Like, absolute heartbreaking. They, from 1 to 23, they just left everything on the pitch. You know, and it's the best performance I've seen in them in a long time. And they look so dominant in that first half. And I was actually raging. At the dying minutes of that first half, they should have scored another fucking try and maybe possibly converted it and gone into the break fucking 20-0 up. And, well, we all know if that had happened, we'd be having a completely different conversation now. But I can't fault any of the girls. You know, they were all brilliant. Absolutely unbelievable. And you could see even in the second half, maybe 20, 30 minutes when France started kind of coming back into it and that try, they were just out on their feet. You know, they threw everything at France and desperately unlucky at the end. Yeah. You know.
Len, what are your thoughts on the game from Sunday? Ireland losing 18-13 to France.
Actually, before that, Danny, because we're just... no, go on. No, sorry. Yeah, look. Because that go on, Matt said, they gave some performance. They have a lot to be proud of. And we were talking the previous week, Matt, about they didn't get a rubber to green in the last match. A couple of minutes in, we got a rubber to green. The ball came off of one of the French defenders before it went out over the dead ball line. We got a 5-meter scrum. You know, things clicked for us for a change.
Yeah.
They, as I said, 13-0 up at halftime. France didn't get a sniff. I don't even think they got into our 22 in the first half.
No, not in that first half, no.
I don't think they did. Okay, we had the wind in our favour. And Dan O'Brien, I thought, done an excellent job of constantly pinning them back, balls in behind, which the French fullback line struggled with a lot. So we had 2 tries. Unfortunately, we didn't get conversions out of them. And then we had a penalty. Then we moved to basically 40 minutes and 35 phases, lads. Jesus Christ. I thought it was tremendous. Now, testament to the French defence, they kept us out. But, again, there was a yellow card in that. There was a couple of warnings. There was advantage. You know, you'd have to kind of wonder, were we verging on penalty try territory? After sending off, it didn't work out that way. I know people were saying we should have been probably more clinical with those phases. I think it was at one stage, probably about the 20th phase, Dalton, Stacey Flood was out wide, kind of in space, and maybe if she had thrown it wide rather than going into contact, could have been a try. But look, ifs, buts, and maybes. Then it was kind of funny because we had a yellow card, and you know the commentators were saying, "Well, look, we'll have a man advantage, or sorry, a woman advantage for the first 10 minutes of the second half. But the thing went on for so long. There were 7 minutes of the yellow card eaten up before they actually blew the whistle. I think they were not actually, just in hindsight, I think maybe it would almost have been better for the ball to have gone dead without the 35 phases. They probably might have come back out fresher in the second half because they put in a hell of a shift. But look, things didn't go their way. But again, can't fault the effort. I know we're going to talk about other incidents later on, but yeah. They have a lot. They have a lot to be proud of, and they were all lucky. That breakaway try by the French was an absolute killer. And like Amy Costigan, it's hard to beat her for fucking pace, but I know she was kind of backpedaling to cover the angle. I think she had gone after her straight off without worrying about the cover. She would have caught her, but it was tough going. But I think I mentioned on our own group or on the page that first half, they were playing rugby that there's a lot of teams, I said, in the URC would actually aspire to. There was no handling errors. It was fucking brilliant, And in fairness to Bernard Jackman, he did kind of call it at halftime in RT. Great display, said, but it's 13 points enough. And unfortunately, we couldn't manage a score in the second half. So that's my tuppence worth.
We talk about turning points in games, and to allude there with the 35 phases, and we'll come to that one in a second. By the way, evening, Gregor. But I said in the group as well that 35 phases and the French turning over the ball at that time, I felt was a turning point in that game.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that, Lynn?
Oh, yeah, look, it was a massive boost for them. It was a huge psychological boost for the French. Because we all know that French can be temperamental. And I think if it was 20 points on the board at that stage, I don't think they would have been so gung-ho in the second half. And even at that, they struggled with us. They got a bit of luck on their side. Yeah. And they took it very well.
Yeah, Matt, do you think that was a turning point in the second half? So the French kind of neutralising their 35 phases and just getting the ball out and going in 13-0 down rather than maybe 18 or 20 down.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 35 phases of play, especially when you're knocking on the door. And I mean, they weren't just into 22; they were pretty much 5-meter line job for most of that 35 phases. Do you know what I mean? And that's energy zapping stuff. You know yourselves, being forwards, constantly mauling the ball and rooking the ball over and diving for the try and inching every time. It's so attritional and it's so it just fucking zaps your energy. And maybe like shoulda, coulda, woulda. We're all going to talk about this all night. If they did this and what would become, but that like if they had scored, say maybe halfway through that session of phases, it would have been halftime. They would have been going in maybe 18 points to 0 or 20 points to 0 into a second half, and they wouldn't have been as exhausted because you could see in that second half they came out, they were slightly off the pace that they were in the first half, and no doubt. But as Len said, like that's a massive turn in momentum for France to defend for 35 phases, keep the fucking Irish team, Irish women out, and not concede a score, and then come into the second half and then just go, right, it's time to turn the fucking screw, so yeah, look, massive turning point.
Yeah. Now, there's one or two incidences as well in that game that a few people said that the referee didn't pick up for the Irish. One of them was when it seemed, was it one of our back row players, I can't remember who, I think it was Aoife Wafer, she got her hands on the ball, it seemed to go somewhere around in the French half and in the second half of the game. Now, the referee said it was a French penalty for some reason, but there seemed to be enough of it there where we did have hands to the ball and the French weren't releasing. You think a penalty like that could have been another turning point in that game where the French felt they had that bit more, that things were going their way for a change. Matt?
Yeah, well, there was There was a few.
I'm sorry, it's your name, Matt.
Oh, sorry, I can't look. Sorry. I thought you said me. Apologies, Matt. I thought you said Lynn. Sorry. Far away, Matt.
Well,
Matt,
look, we don't want to be blaming fucking referees, but it's so regular. It's such a regular occurrence in the game that we love that these moments are missed, and this is why, like, referees, they can't see everything on a pitch, understandably so, but they need to rely on the likes of the lines men or women or whoever is doing it. They also need to rely on the fourth official. They need to rely on the television match official, and they're also not doing their job to support the referee, because ultimately any decision that's made on the pitch by the ref, that he or she has to stand over that decision. Fair enough. But she needs the backup, or he needs the backup of all them other people as well to get the right decision. So when something goes on that they think, oh shit, maybe I got something wrong, just fucking blow the whistle, time off, TMO, have a quick look back. That's what it's there for. Do you know what I mean? So, but look, it's all about like inches, and holding on too long, or holding on to the ball too long after a tackle, or not releasing a player on the ground. It's marginals and it's fractions of seconds. Do you know what I mean? So
sometimes it gets spotted, sometimes it doesn't. Exactly. Then what are your thoughts on that now?
Well, yeah, look, as I said, there was a number of issues in the game. I mean, there was one point there late in the second half where the ball kind of ricocheted between the French player Eve Higgins and Parsons, and it ran forward. Unfortunately, it didn't set up for Parsons. She was maybe on for the try, but she got, in my opinion, locked onto the ball. I thought it was a perfect jackal, and all of a sudden, the referee shouting release. And now, in my opinion, that was an Irish penalty all day long.
That was a mad decision. That was a mad decision. That was a mad decision.
It was a ridiculous decision. It was absolutely like
we actually spoke about that in our group.
Said on punditry that she thought the ref might have taken the view that the ruck was formed slightly before she got on it.
Me fucking hole.
No, I don't think so. Actually, we discussed it at the time. We mentioned it.
I'm pretty sure I said that as well.
What?
I'm pretty sure I said that as well. Me fucking hole.
Yeah, I think you did actually. Yeah, but that was pivotal in a pivotal area of the game at a pivotal time. A penalty there for Ireland, whether to go to the corner or whatever. But look, as I said, there was kind of we made some silly decisions ourselves, I think, and you don't like to criticize the girls because of the effort they put in, but I kind of thought maybe a tap and go, that very last penalty, would have been a much safer option. You know what I mean? Because lineouts are tricky at the best of times. And if you are going off for a lineout, just go to the fucking front of the line. Keep it as safe as possible and try and get over touch. I know, there's more expanse there from the middle or the back of the lineout to work off of, but fucking get the ball into your hand is the first fucking first thing. So look, that was probably one of the I won't say a poor decision, but it was a risky option to go for the line out, considering the ramification of fucking it up, basically. But as Matt said about the refs and the TMO, I don't know, I was chatting there to Miller on the thing, and I don't know, we were talking about Holly Davidson, and Holly is a fantastic ref, but I mean, she's in the 3 games she's refed, I don't want to say she's missed things, but the TMO hasn't called him back. I just wonder, look, maybe fucking I'm off my head here, but do maybe World Rugby, they've sold more tickets for these than any other Rugby World Cup, Women's Rugby World Cup. Yeah. And from a commercial point of view, it's a huge success. So I'd say there's an awful lot of casual fans who are maybe attending the games and more so watching the games. So maybe they're trying to keep it as free-flowing as possible without getting bogged down in the minutiae of fucking rugby union. And maybe they're told to let little things slide, maybe offsides and stuff, not to be, unless it's blatant. Look, this could be fucking way off the mark here. But, World Rugby may have said to the refs, trying to get the game flow as much. No, don't be pinging for every little slight infringement. I don't know.
Yeah, but you don't understand that for marginal offside calls or marginal players in front of the ball kicking calls.
Yeah.
But when it's fucking blatant, like something like that Bevan Parsons thing where there was no fucking ruck form. She clambered onto the ball. She got into a good jackal position, and then she was fucking penalized.
Absolutely perfect.
And like
textbook.
It was textbook, and like you said, it was absolutely textbook. Her positional, how quick she was to get back on her feet and attack on the ball, and she was penalized. And it's just like, fuck off, like. And then, like as you were saying, like the last decision to go for the line out, like I think you are right in saying maybe a tap and go was probably a better option, but they were probably playing to their strengths, and maybe they had confidence in the line out and went for that. But I was actually thought they might have gone for the tap and go, quick tap, fucking back to Aoife Wafer and let her just fucking smash it over the line. Do you know what I mean? So, but look, as you said, a monumental effort from the girls. They never put their heads down until the final whistle was blown. Do you know what I mean? And we're also proud of them. They were absolutely incredible. And it's only the beginning for them. It really is. They have shown glimpses of brilliance in the Six Nations in some of the games, and it just came together in that game against France.
Yeah.
They were
for a lot of those players, don't worry, I get that in a minute. But for a lot of those players, it was their first World Cup, so you have to factor that in as well. And those occasions can get to any player, regardless of the sport they play or whatever like that. You can kind of get them a little bit. But there's a good comment there by Mike Sheedy, and I want to come on to that now in a minute. So the ref and team need to open their eyes. Remember that the two teams in the game, France offside, in by side, biting Aoife Wafer, high tackle, but Irish team did it proud. Now, Len, that's the one thing I want to come to you now. The biting of the French backer, Axel, I can't not even go try to pronounce her surname, on Aoife Wafer. Should that have been picked up?
It wasn't fucking picked up, Danny. It was fucking ignored. Let's be honest about it. Like, I was watching in real time, and I actually texted our group and went, she just fucking bites Wafer. And you could see it. She was practically gnawing on her fucking arm. And I went, hang on. So I actually fucking went, pause the thing, rewound it, fucking screenshot it. I put it up on the IRB group later. And as I said, she was like one bobbing for fucking apples. She had a couple of fucking goals at the fucking arm. Now, Wafer got up, showed the referee her arm, called it back, and I think she made a point that I'm not 100% certain on this, that the TMO, she had looked it up and the TMO didn't see anything in it. But the TMO must be fucking Stevie fucking Wonder, because you could not fucking see it, right? And that was a red card all day fucking long, right?
Yeah.
There's no fucking two ways about it. And that could have massively swung the game for Ireland. Now, I don't like, it's sour grapes and shit like that, right? But that was blatant fucking foul. There's no fucking two ways about it. End of fucking story. She bit in on the arm. It's a red card's gone. And that girl, as far as I know, was already on a yellow anyway. Regardless, but look, by defense, it's a red card straight off the bat anyway. But even if they wanted to fucking bring it down to a misdemeanor, as I said, fucking maybe she tried to reset her gum shield on Aoife's fucking arm, which she fucking wasn't. I don't want to give a yellow. She's still gone, right? And that would have given some boost to the Irish team. Now, it's not good enough from the ref. It certainly isn't good enough from the TMO. He has, as Matt said earlier, you have all the technology there. You have all the camera angles. You can slow it down. You know, there's no ambiguity in that action in my mind. And we're hearing rumors now that French girl got a 12-week ban.
Yeah, she did. I've seen it here as well. Peter
It's fucking late though, Danny, isn't it? It makes no fucking material difference to the girls that could possibly, right? And I say possibly, could possibly be in a semi-final. as a result of a very fucking bad, not a bad call. She basically ignored the Irish players bringing it to her attention. Not good enough officiating, in my view. Not good enough at all.
Matt, your thoughts on the whole Aoife wafer incident?
Well, it looked like your one fucking saw an old blue steak in front of her and decided to take a fucking 3 or 4 fucking chomps at the arm because it was blatant as Anton. And as Len said, like, the referee has a duty of care for the players. Simple as that. And if a player comes up to a referee and going, she bit me arm, you fucking blow the whistle and you go, right. And referees have done this before. Gone to the TMO saying there's a suspected bite in the game. We need to see the replays. Why the fuck didn't she do that? She should be held accountable for that. But the TMO should be held accountable as well for not actually drawing it to the attention, because not only did they play on, they were setting a scrum later on, and it came on the screens in the pitch in the stadium, and all the players pointed to the screen to go, look at that, it's right fucking there, and they still missed it. Absolutely not fucking good enough. And,
no, ignored it.
And that's exactly what they did. They just fucking ignored it because they had made up their mind they didn't want Ireland in this fucking semi-final, and that was it. Playing the fuck.
No, actually, do you know what? Look, I know I'd actually disagree with you on that, because that's what I think I'm saying. I think it's more to do. I don't think they want any controversy. I think they want this World Cup to be a spectacle, because the women's game has grown to such an extent. It's exploding. And I think they want it just to be sort of a festival of rugby and a spectacle. And I don't think they wanted any controversy. And the red card for biting is certainly controversy. But look, she's going to look at the ban at the back of it. But I said, no material difference to us.
They've done what they wanted to do, create a spectacle. But why let something like that go? Because that's just fucking ruining the game. That's going to ruin it for kids.
You've created expected in the wrong, worst possible light with that incident.
Absolutely. And that should have been dealt with to go, no, that is not okay. That is not okay behavior. And you're off. And the fact is, even if, as you said, right, for me, it's a straight red card, right? But even if they said, right, mitigation, blah, 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 maybe she didn't know what she was doing or blah, 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 whatever, right?
Huge
it would have been it would have been her second yellow and she would have been fucking red carded anyway. And that's the thing. She was already fucking yellow carded. And I think that played into the minds of the fucking officiating as well. But
massive. Possibly the TMO is just incompetent. Maybe it's just human error. Maybe the guy is just incompetent. We don't actually know.
Yeah.
You know, but as Ryan Keane would say, that's his fucking job. You know, do your fucking job.
Yeah.
No excuse for it.
There's absolutely no excuse for it.
And as you said, look, if you wanted a sort of a sanitized, great fun for all the family festival of rugby, this Women's World Cup, something like this, you would be, as you said, you would be better off dealing with it on the pitch and show that it's unacceptable. Because now you have the opposite. Now you've actually, the controversy is created by not dealing with it properly in the first place.
Yeah.
But
there's a nice comment from Peter Burke for you, Len.
Wow.
Len, I wouldn't
be happy with your decorator as your wallpaper looks shite.
That's the nicest wallpaper I've ever seen in my life.
It is shite. Peter Burke is right. It's pure fucking.
No. See, if there was a blue background, I'd agree with you. And it had a harp on it. I'd probably agree with you. It would be shite. But now that lovely reindeer, or that lovely stag, that lovely red background, the 3 crowns, the Lisbon Navy, just absolutely perfect. FYI, Len has bypassed Matt in the fucking department tonight. Some achievement. The background competition there. Who can say the most the word fuck in it? That's the competition there now.
That's not because I was on a Mike Reedy rant there. I was pissed off over that game. That's all.
Yeah. Now, there's some interesting statistics about the game that you might surprise you. How much territory and possession do you think Ireland had in that game for the entire 80 minutes?
70%. Over 70%.
No, 66% territory, 65% possession.
Near enough.
Would have thought more.
Yeah.
I would have thought more, honestly.
Yeah, but that's for the entire game. Here's the big thing now. Who do you think won the meters carried? France or Ireland?
Ireland.
No, you aren't at 278 meters. France has 430.
Oh, right. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Here's the funny thing, though. France had 93 runs for 430 meters. Ireland had 198 for 278. But the thing is, when you look at it, I suppose from this thing, it's like, now where do I see that now? Defensively. France had 273 tackles to Ireland 105.
It's 200 and what?
272 tackles.
Wow.
273.
Yeah,
and
half of
92
those were in 35 phases at the end of the first half, probably.
Yeah.
And about a third of them were fucking high as well.
Yeah. No, the thing is,
Don't be like that, man. Don't be like that.
Here's what gets me now. The tackle success rate. France, 92%. Ireland, 76% in tackle success.
Right.
Yeah, so when you look at numbers like that, Ireland did have most of the ball, but France made it count.
Yeah.
So because I won't mind, but France conceded 17 penalties, Ireland 10. They had 3 yellow cards in the entire game. By right, Ireland should have won that one. We look at stuff like that.
Yeah,
I think
they
will be. They will be good at that. They ended up losing it because you could see it at the end of the match. It meant so much for them, and they put so much into it that they were just good at it, and you could see it. But like I said, this is only the beginning. And as you said, Danny, some of them, it's their first World Cup. Like, you know, they've a long way to go, and they're fucking brilliant. Like, and they're only going to get better from here on out. You know, and I can't fucking wait for that fucking game in Paris now in the Six Nations when Ireland go to wherever they play in fucking France, because there'll be blood.
Yeah, they might quick literally right, and there might be a few nibbles returned and stuff like that.
Oh well, like, you know, I was laughing because I was saying, like, if that was me, they would have been rained fucking digs right on your one's fucking head if she was biting my arm.
Yeah. Sometimes you need to go for that old Trevor Brennan approach or something like that. That's Becky quote. You get a couple of steps back because.
100%. But then what would have happened? They would have called the fucking. They would have stopped the game. They would have looked at why she fucking hit her.
If Waver would have been sent off. Nah, probably both been sent off, so we no fucking advantage.
No, do you know what? They both would have got yellow carded. So Aoife Waver would have came back on in 10 minutes, and your one would have been off for the rest of the fucking 30 minutes. Telling you.
Yeah.
No, I like your optimism. I don't think so.
No, but to be honest with you, the whole situation with was it Paul O'Connell and Jamie Cudmore before in the Heineken Cup. Cudmore kind of slapped him a few times, and Paul O'Connell went to the referee. Do you see this?
He actually pointed to the linesman. You see this? He's fucking hitting me. And then he hit him back.
And then you go to the referee afterwards. I have to defend myself.
Yeah.
So sometimes, you need those little bit of rugby smarts, where even if you do put your hand in the player's face and even accidentally I got him said, she bit me, I have to defend myself. Look at why I did that. Yeah. You know, cause and effect. Fair enough, you might get yellow carded first, or maybe red card first, but like you've made the point, there is dirty play by the opposition, and that kind of gets into the referee's head as well.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes those little tricks, where you know the consequences of your actions, but it's how they play out long term. Sometimes taking the hit to score the try, which is what I saw sometimes.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, considering how the women played in the 3 games or the 4 games this season, how good do you think they have been overall? In those 3 games, do you think they have showed how much they've improved, let's say, under the Scott Bemand in this World Cup? Len?
Oh, sorry, I was only just looking at Peter's comment. Look, massive improvement. Look, the New Zealand game, the Black Ferns, that was a disappointment. But look, as we said at the time, it was a dead rubber.
Yeah.
They had bigger things on their mind, and maybe that's why, it panned out the way it did. But again, I thought they put in a huge effort into that. The Japan game was very enjoyable. They dug deep, and there were some lovely tries out of it. So overall, there was a lot of ingenuity in our attack. Maybe not so much in the weekend's game, but overall, we've discovered some good players. We have a lot of depth. Maybe not at 10. We might be a little bit lacking. But yeah, look, the improvement, and I think like it's a 5-year project with Scott Beeman. So I think he's good for the girls. They've come on leaps and bounds. It's much more professional setup. So in my opinion, yeah, they showed huge improvement over this tournament, and they got a lot of experience under their belt for the younger girls. So as Matt said, I think the Six Nations will be there'll be a bit of revenge in that.
Matt, over 4 games, how impressed were you by the women's team in that World Cup? The highs and lows.
I look very impressed. Like as Len has already said, like the New Zealand game, I think was a bit of an anomaly, and I think if there had been more riding on that New Zealand game, they would have put in a better performance. Yeah. Albeit they probably wouldn't have won, they still would have played a little bit better. But I think they were already focusing on what was down the line for them, and probably even trying to save themselves a little bit for not getting injured or whatever, because they definitely didn't. They definitely are not that team that would be beaten 40-0 by New Zealand, So, but yeah, look, the other games they were very good, and it showed in that France game what they are actually capable of and what they can do and how they can play and what they're about as a squad, because, Scott has done massive wonders with them, even on from Greg McWilliams. He had kind of laid the foundations really, and then Scott has come in and taken them to the next level. So who knows, where they're going to go after this, but it's definitely they're only going to get better, and games like that in the World Cup, as you said, like some of them, it's only their first World Cup. So they're going to learn from that experience, gain from that experience, and it's all going to be better for them going forward into the Six Nations. But look, they were brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and immensely proud of them, every one of them, because they were absolutely fantastic. They gave it everything and left everything on that pitch.
Yeah, but as you said, it's definitely an upward trajectory, without a doubt. Do you know what I mean?
Without a doubt.
And that's, we're not flatlining, we're not going down, and the only way is up with them. And I think they're going to do good things.
Yeah. Just to give you a little bit of context there now, right? I'm going to go back to the 2023 Six Nations, right? This was Greg McWilliams' last Six Nations before Beman took over. Any idea of how many points we scored in those 5 games?
Not a clue.
Not a clue.
Right. We scored 25 points. In 5 games. In 5 games. We scored 25 points in 5 games, right? We conceded 192.
Jesus.
England being that bad, but how is that? What?
Yeah, but look at the progress that's made in 2.5 years. In that, because I just go fast forward here now to 2024. That was Beman's, I think, first full. Yeah, that was Beman's first goal. What did he get? He scored 17 points against France. The following game, then they scored what? 21 against Italy. They scored more in 2 games under Beman in the following 6 nations that they did in the entire tournament. So what has he done that McWilliams and Greg hasn't done before him? Has he got the right? Is he the right man at the right time, or is he putting the right kind of mentality and the right tools in the girls' hands to drive them forward?
I don't know. I think. Look, you have to remember where we were coming from, Danny, and your knowledge of the women's game far excels either of ours. My knowledge of the women's game is pretty limited. Actually, some might say my knowledge is fucking limited, full stop. But I was ever. we before Greg Williams took over, we were basically amateur, and it was a fucking mess. So I didn't think he done a lot to, as Matt said, build the foundations for what we are now. So like these things, Rome wasn't built in a day. So I think probably both of them had a serious input into where we're going and where we're heading.
Yeah. Matt, what do you think Vermont has done for the Irish team in the, let's say, 3 years he's been in charge? Do you think he's had the right tools and the right players and the right upward trajectory considering where women's rugby was?
Yeah, look, I mean, like the man has come in after Greg McWilliams, and Greg can't, like, we know, and no coach can change a team in a year. It takes time to build a team properly, and Greg McWilliams put all the foundations there, and then Scott has come in now and he's evolved the team into his way of coaching, the way of his tactical plays and all that sort of stuff, and they've just skyrocketed. So I wouldn't say Greg McWilliams did anything wrong. Absolutely not. He took them to where he needed to take them, and it was on that upward trajectory. It was then that Scott came on and took them to the next part. And be no illusions, when the next coach comes in after Scott, they'll have another flow of the girls improving as well, and it does take time,
Unless it's Eddie Jones comes in. Yeah.
Well, no, he won't fucking step foot in this fucking island. And if he does, I'll be there to meet him to fucking put him back on the plane. But do you know what I'm saying? Like they're not so long ago that they were only amateurs, and now they're professional, and you can already see how good they are improving year on year. So look, they're going to be brilliant.
Yeah. To answer your question or your comment there, Peter, I do as much research as I need, and then everything just flows from that. That's how I do things, Peter. I don't need help. What's that, Matt? You have a bad cough there?
Yeah, bullshit. Sorry.
Yeah.
We're enough to close kind of.
Over.
We don't need fucking notes. Where are my notes?
Yeah.
Never mind. Rob.
No. The only thing you need is a couple of cans of Guinness, and you're happy, isn't it?
That's it, fucking Danny. It's a fucking chat between friends here over a couple of pints.
You fucking flow with it. That's what you do. You have a rough plan, you flow with it, and you take it off.
Fucking nobody mentioned plan to me. Come on. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, the plan is make it up as you go along.
I was just about to say, plan, make it up as you go along.
That's it. It's the best one.
It works. It's entertaining. People enjoy it. So why not? No, Matt, I know there's something you're desperately wanting to talk about here anyway, and that is the National League and how that's fair for the GA and stuff like that. No,
Fortunately, we have time, Danny. We'll have to leave that next week.
Oh, fuck, sorry. Yeah. I forgot that. You keep that next week now, then. Sorry.
Actually, Danny, just on that, there's a little bit of housekeeping, in all fairness.
Yeah.
Last week at the end of the show, I was kind of acting the bollocks. And over after the All Blacks managed to beat South Africa. And in the interest of fairness, I think we have to acknowledge that probably one of the best games of the championship was last Saturday morning. And, credit where credit is due. I want to publicly congratulate Argentina on the win. I thought they were brilliant. Well done, lads.
No, you can also congratulate New Zealand.
Argentina, I said.
Then you can also congratulate New Zealand on their win over South Africa as well on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Black Ferns beat them.
That was a decent match. Watch that. I need to watch that, lads.
Yeah, I did. Actually, I was watching some of the England-Scotland game as well. Sunday after the Ireland game.
No, I have a genetic condition that precludes me from watching any sport where England might have the possibility of winning it. I don't even turn it on. I wouldn't even bother. So no, I won't be after that.
Gregor, agree with you. I agree. Vamos, las Pumas. Lads, we have two semi-finals coming up now. One Friday night, one Saturday night. New Zealand versus Canada, Friday night. Matt, your thoughts and predictions on that?
Do you know what? That's going to be an absolute belter of a game. And, you know, it's very hard. I think Canada could do it.
You think?
They've looked very impressive. Now, I know New Zealand are impressive, but it could go either way. But I'm gonna side with Canada because I think they are slightly better. I think, and it's gonna be a fucking belter of a game. I'd say it'll be a score in at maximum, but that's going to be the game of the tournament. I'd say that if that was the final, that'd be an epic final. Do you know what I'm saying? And regardless of who wins that, I hope it's Canada. I think Canada will give England a better go in the final, but regardless, that'll be their final. And even if New Zealand do it, I still don't think they'd be strong enough to beat fucking England.
Yeah. Len, what do you think? Canada, New Zealand, Friday night.
The other way around. I reckon New Zealand. I just love the way they play. It's just they're just class.
Nobody's agreeing with you, Len.
No. Yeah, but I still think. I've watched Canada. I have a feeling that it will be a cracker, but I think the Black Ferns are going to take it. I just think they're just getting better and better within the tournament. You know what I mean? Christ, I saw some McGee's fucking hat trick after hat trick and whack, and it's just they have everything. Maybe the only thing that where Canada I find are a little bit cuter. No, hang on. I saw or I heard a stat that the average ruck speed from Canada is 2.38 seconds. Now that is fucking phenomenal, right?
Yeah.
Again,
that's unbelievable, right?
It's fucking unreal. Like the ball is fucking gone before you fucking see the thing. So they have that in their back pocket, and they're very. What's Dave saying?
My God, that's a mighty flag.
Yeah, go man, Dave. Well done.
And that's his last viewing on this show.
And actually, there's another thing. That was another thing that came to my attention. Again, one of the pundits was in commentary was saying that they combined the 7s and the 15s. They're basically one squad, right? For Canada, this is right. So the resources are pooled together, and they're all. Now, Danny, you probably know this inside out, back to front, way more than I did. It was news to me, but so they all train together as a unit. They're basically the one team playing different competitions, and they try to intermingle as many of them as possible, right? So if it obviously works for them, and they said it helps with resources. So you kind of wonder if we have the women's 7th team, and there's a lot of ex-7s players are playing on the Irish 15s team. It may be something that we could actually look to replicate. If it fucking works, it works. But as for the prediction on the game, sorry, I'm rambling here. I'm going to go for the Black Ferns, and I don't think it'll be. I don't think it'll be as tight as Matt thinks it will. I think there could be a couple of scores in it for the Black Ferns.
Yeah. Now, Matt, did Peter have a prediction on that game? Okay, show it on screen.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Show it on screen there.
Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. Hold on.
Canada, no, that's Gregor. Peter, Canada will win. Now, we all know what happens 99.9% of the time.
This is an anomaly. This is the 0.01%.
Yeah, you know what happens? Put your money on New Zealand.
Yeah.
Because they will win. You know what happens with Burke? You always get the other way. If he says one way, you go the other.
No, I actually don't think so this time. I think Canada will win.
Right.
I think they're just a far superior team, and I think they'll win it by a score.
Danny, no, I'm backing the Bishop on this one, New Zealand, because they have what's it? Is it 2 in a row already? Or World Cups? to go to want to go win another one again. I think it's their third or fourth one in succession they're looking for this time. I know
New
they've
Zealand will win the whole thing.
Yeah, I think they'll go ahead
in the final.
I'd say so. Yeah.
I don't think so. You're talking through your arse now.
You know what? If New Zealand win it, I'll send you up a Munster jersey and you can wear that then. All right?
I'll fucking burn it and wipe my arse with it.
Yeah, right. No,
Daddy, fucking press mute on that fucker, will you?
You know what? I'll send him up a fucking flag. I must flag every fucking week then. And see how he does with that.
No, look, he won't even know, Danny. All we have to do is digitally alter his background. He won't even be aware of it. There's a nice big fucking flag up there.
Get the young fella on that one there, and you just can't tend to put Munster flag in his background, all right? Now, then I'll come to you in this one. The second semi-final. France versus England. How do you see that one going?
England. Yeah. Look, they've been pretty impressive. And home advantage, and sure, it's like the soccer. No, in fairness, actually, it's not. I disagree. I don't watch soccer, but every time they hit a fucking European Championship or World Cup, they're going to fucking win it. They haven't. The media haven't actually been as fucking bad when it comes to the Rugby World Cup. But certainly the women's one, they've actually been pretty muted. But yeah, look, they're a pretty decent outfit, and that Ellie Kildunn is just fucking.
I think she's out.
She's out. She's injured.
Yeah,
she's out, is she?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. They still win. Yeah. She's joy to watch, though. Absolute joy to watch. And it's serious. Would you miss the final?
I think so. I'm not sure.
I think she's out for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Really?
The rest of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew she was in the stands for the other one, but like I didn't realize it was. I thought she'd just been rested. I didn't realize she was out.
No, I think it's a serious enough injury that it's ended her World Cup.
Yeah,
I could be wrong, but that's just what I thought what I heard.
Matt, your thoughts on England versus France?
Look, I hate backing England. I really do, and I'd rather back the French, but considering what France did to Ireland and in the way that they won, and fuck it, I'm going with England. Fuck that shit.
Mike, see you going with the Black Ferns as well and England to win their two semi-finals.
Yeah, there's a monster fucking team flowing through this here, lads.
Yeah, there's an awful lot. Lads, I'd be wrapping Boland in a Munster flag in Croke Park if he doesn't run off to the Premo section again. Right. Fair enough. Actually, Dave, take as much Munster gear on him as possible. Hats, coats, scarves, flags. Just get as much as you can on him, all right?
Sheedy couldn't catch him back in the day. I don't think he still catch me, so fuck him.
Yeah, but you see, to be honest with you, Sheedy could be a smart fecker and he could get someone else to catch you and hold you. And then he just does that, That's what they do, They entrap you. There's very different ways of doing this. So you have to be careful.
Bring Matt on the fucking piss down in Kerry with the fucking pair of us, right? And before you fucking know it, he'll be fucking heading back up fucking the M1 with a fucking Munster tattoo on his fucking forehead. And he won't even know.
M1 goes to Belfast.
What the fuck? Like, that's all we need to do.
Yeah, actually, Matt, it's Pauline and related to him.
Yeah, that's me. That's me, Munster mammy.
It's enough to see Matthew in a Munster jersey. That's kind of wondering, all right.
Not a fucking chance.
Matthew. Sounds very professional.
Yeah, Daniel.
Don't fucking pull that shit on me. It's Daniel, all right?
Yeah, don't fucking pull that shit on me either, you bollocks, or I'll come down to Kerry.
You're always looking down to Kerry. Best look at me anyway. There's fucking bugs and half up around here anyway.
All I have to do is drive down to Kelly and sniff the air, and I'll fucking find you. You'd be covered in cow shite.
That's nearly every fucking farmer here in Kerry, man. Now you know you're deep in Munster when you have to come to Kerry, right? You know you're deep in deep deep in Munster, right?
There you go.
That means you have to go through and say, it's not back for Saturday, 12 days, HIA.
So yeah, it's HIA protocol. So she's out for 12 days. So there you go.
Yeah. So she might be all right, yeah. I suppose let's have to see how the whole thing how she recovers as well. But like, she could be back for the final as well, maybe. But like, Kildun is a lethal player, to be honest with you, when she comes in from full back. I've seen her against Ireland in Musgrave Park, and can't give her an inch of space.
If they have her for
the final, I said this already, Danny. If you never watched rugby before, and just watch, I think it was actually the first game that England played, and just watch her on the pitch, you'd automatically just know the girl is a superstar. She was fucking like, I think she played nearly every position on the pitch bar fucking a prop, like, you know what I mean? She was in the middle of everything. Turnovers, she was playing fucking centre, wing, fullback. You know, she was just all over the place. She was hitting girls for fucking sport. She's unreal, absolutely unreal.
Yeah. Now, if you saw that build up to a try against the United States, where she kicked it forward, then she just literally nudges up with her knee and stuff to control it and pass on. That is just basically a back's wet dream and how to set up a try.
Danny, Danny, I've only seen one person do something like that before, and I know Matt and Peter Burke are big fans. Simon Zebo, remember that little flick?
Yeah, the Zebo flick.
Yeah. I think Peter Burke actually has a poster of that in his.
You'll need to talk about this because two people have mentioned it already.
Which, Matt, what the fuck happened to Leinster in friendly to Cardiff and Tala? Good beating, apparently.
And there's another one here. I'm looking for it as well. What about Cardiff getting one over on Leinster? So I'll talk about this. It's a pre-season warm. It was probably in fact it was a fifth Leinster team playing probably a full strength Cardiff squad. Get over yourselves, lads. Fuck's sake.
It's pre-season.
Actually, it was a very busy weekend rugby wise, and
there was only 3,000 people in Tala Stadium because they couldn't find their way there.
Now, look, in all fairness, Munster were playing Bat, and I didn't even get a chance to look that up on the Munster Access site. Now, in fairness, Munster or Bat, done very well in championship, and I think we drew with them 28 all. If I had known Leinster had gotten beaten, I would have started with a fucking Cardiff flag tonight, and I would have moved on from there.
But you're like, I mean, it means nothing. We'll see who's champion at the end of the year.
Pre-season friendlies, in all fairness, they don't.
Yeah,
they don't mean anything.
But they're designed as such to give everybody a run out. They're designed as such to give everybody a run out. So, like, most of the and in fact, the entire Leinster squad, starting squad, was down on the Lions tour, so you couldn't play them. They've done enough rugby all season. So we had to give the third and the fourth team players a
Actually,
good
brought
run
a
out.
Munster man with him to keep it all together. Otherwise, you wouldn't fucking win the series. So be quiet.
Cardiff won that
for Leinster, isn't it?
They only need one Munster man to win the fucking thing. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ, we had a fucking 4 or 5 down there, we'd run away with it.
But sure, he's not even a Munster man. He didn't even fucking play for you. He fucking hated everything.
At the end of the day,
he came to Leinster and then he's fucking brilliant.
Fault, and we developed him into the player that he is today. Thanks very much. Player
with his 2 caps.
Don't fucking start me, Bowling.
Yeah, but sure, you fucking idiots. You fucking threw him up on his debut for Munster.
Oh boy, am I looking forward to the fucking URC. Come on, bring it on.
Broke his fucking ankle in his first fucking game. Fucking that's what Munster does to you.
We have to fucking toughen them up, Matt. You know what I mean? They're playing fucking years with namby-pamby fucking Leinster lads. You have to bring them down here and fucking show them what it's all about. Couple of fucking broken fingers, broken ankle. Get over it.
When was the last time you beat us? When was the last time you beat us?
Very good question here by Dave.
I have a question here from David Sheedy. Sorry, man, I cut you off there.
What the fuck are Leinster doing in Tala?
We'll get back to you in a minute.
Get out of line. Finton didn't go to Tala. No one from D4 moves that far east to Tala for anything.
They don't allow chauffeur cars into Tala.
No. But lads, it was a pre-season game. It wasn't tell they had no prawn sandwiches, only kebabs. They had spice
For
bags.
fuck's sake. There's
And
no
then-
way you're getting Burke over that side of the fucking town. Come on.
Yeah, but see, the other problem was, then as well was, they didn't have Dynamite, they only had Carling.
That's not even.
I will look.
Probably
I
had
wouldn't
fucking
drink
Dutch
either.
Gold or some shit.
But however.
Probably. Either way, lads, it's a pre-season game. Who gives a toss about pre-season games? They're only kind of looking to let's gel, see who's what and where and how they're kind of cope with the coach system and all that sort of crack. That's the whole idea of those pre-season games. So
Yeah,
I
and
would be
pre-season or not, the Welsh need every fucking win they can get.
yeah. Now that might be Cardiff's best win of the season against Leinster.
Might be Cardiff's
Or-
only win of the fucking season. The way things are going.
It's very, very much possible anyway. I suppose we will wrap it up for tonight anyway. I'm not sure when we'll be back again. Actually, I don't know. When's the URC starting?
26th or 27th.
So that's about 2 weeks away. Fucking, I suppose it'll be 2 weeks by the time we're back, I suppose, anyway. Matt, Len, it's been a pleasure.
Very enjoyable, lads.
Good night.
Nice one, lads.
Take care.
See you, folks.
And see you.
Good luck.
Good
Good
luck,
night,
lads.
all. Talk to you later.